Alright guys, it's like this. I have a cold, a really bad one. My voice is starting to leave me, so I'm going to talk a little quieter, and hopefully I can conserve my voice. Because on Monday, that new Star Wars trailer's dropping, you know I'm going to talk about that shit. I need a voice to do it, so I think my voice is probably going to be gone by the time I'm done with this video, but I think we're going to get through this.
Crimson Peak.
So Crimson Peak is a scary movie directed by Guillermo Del Toro. It has ghosts in a huge mansion. Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain. Tom Hiddleston marries that girl and more ghosts and ghosts and ghosts. Not really though. No, this is actually the horribly mismarketed movie. I hate it when movies do this. This movie is marketed as a scary movie for Halloween and it's not that at all. What this movie is ultimately kind of a Shakespearean rip-off love story where Tom Hiddleston marries this girl and there might be some foul intent involved. That's what it is. That's the movie right there. Now, before I start bitching about the movie, I'm going to talk about what I liked about the movie. First of all, right when this movie starts, you're like, this movie's going to look great. And it does. The set design is beautiful. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's just everything is huge, Victorian, high ceilings, great colors. Everything's decorated well. You just look at it and you're like, care and budget went into this movie with someone who has an eye for this stuff. Guillermo Del Toro. And the performances were great too. I'm not saying the characters were great, the performances were. The two characters I liked at all in this movie were Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain. They were by far the most interesting people in the movie. Everyone else, who gives a shit? You've seen the plot of this movie a zillion times before. It is very basic. You've seen it in the form of episodes of television programs or other movies. Other movies that did it better but didn't look better. I'm gonna get on the ghosts because we should talk about what's not in this movie. Really, the ghosts did nothing. They offered nothing for this movie. All they did was supply a few scenes where the main girl in this movie can take a candle and walk down the hallway and investigate the weird shadow she saw. All the ghosts are really CGI in this movie. Guillermo Del Toro usually has great creature design, and he does for the ghosts in this movie. They are interesting looking, but don't mistake that for being scary. With ghosts, the less you see, the better. But the fact that this isn't a ghost movie, I guess that doesn't matter at all because they're not here to scare you. I was driving home, I was thinking about this, and this really hit me. If you take the ghosts out of this movie, the movie would be no different. And I challenge anyone to tell me I'm wrong on that. The ghosts do nothing for the plot of this movie. They only show up a few times and nothing. Seriously, you can phantom edit the ghosts out of this movie. You will have a completely cohesive and ghostless movie. There are two situations where a ghost kind of does something, but the thing that it doesn't actually intervene. Like one points at something and it points to a sound. So she goes to the sound, but she would have gone to the sound anyway. And the other one distracts someone for like half a second. You could have had a plate fall and that would have distracted the person for just as long. If you take the ghosts out of this movie, you still have a movie where Tom Hiddleston marries this girl and things happen that are completely unrelated to ghosts. The end of this movie was pretty cool and it got pretty intense and I enjoyed that. Leading up to it, I swear to God, I was checking my watch, I was like, fuck, we've been here for an hour. It felt like 2. Guys, in the end, Crimson Peak is like this. The performances were fine, the characters were not. The only interesting characters in this movie are Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain. The movie looks great. It's visually very, very appealing, which is a drag because if you take the visual aesthetic to this movie and wrap it into a great movie with good plot device and good characters, great dialogue, it would have killed. It's a bummer because as unique as this movie looks and it looks like it's going to be, it's a very, very cliche plot. And really, Crimson Peak might have been a good time if I was drunk. Yeah, now it's a party. Alright guys, so Crimson Peak, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. My voice is out. Cool thing is, when I have a cold, I sound like the Joker. My father was a drinker and a fiend, and one night he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit.